Right, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we got real life lore and we got what if the earth started rotating backwards right now.
Right now, as you're listening to my voice and watching this video, you're flying around in space at a speed you probably don't realize because of the way the earth rotates. If you're standing on the equator, then you'd be traveling at a speed of 1,670 kilometers per hour from west to east, or counterclockwise as viewed from above the North Pole. Every planet in the solar system rotates in this direction except for Uranus and Venus. So, Earth has been rotating pretty normally, all things considered. But we know that it's gradually slowing down at a rate of about 2.3 milliseconds per century. Therefore, a day on Earth today in 2019 is roughly 2 milliseconds shorter than a day was back in 1919. Eventually, billions of years from now, Earth will cease rotating entirely. But Earth will probably never begin rotating in the opposite
How is that even
direction
possible?
like Venus does. But just for fun, what would happen if it did, like, right now? The easy answer is that everybody would probably just die from whiplash and getting flung around at thousands of kilometers per hour if it just happened immediately. But that's kind of boring. So...
Yo, that would be mad, wasn't it? Like, when you think about it, if the earth just stops and it's like a fucking massive oh my god.
Let's imagine in fantasy
oh my god, it would actually fling you off.
Starts happening. How would society and your daily life be affected? Let's start with the immediate effects. Every satellite
we start walking backwards
right now would be immediately obsolete because they're functioning on the assumption that, something stupid like this won't happen. Imagine if every satellite was orbiting Earth in the wrong direction.
So no internet,
consequence that we'd be dealing with. So GPS and cell services would probably be pretty majorly disrupted for a while. Time zones, as we know...
What, would internet... So I thought the internet is, like, connected to satellites. Is the internet not? Oh, fuck knows. I have absolutely no clue.
Would also be pretty messed up. Humanity rather arbitrarily drew lines across the Earth's surface and decided that this mess is how we measure time across the planet. Under the current system, a new day begins at 12 a.m. just to the west of the international dateline here and continues westward for 24 hours until reaching the eastern side of the dateline on the other side, once Earth makes an entire rotation. If Earth pulled a switcheroo and began rotating in the opposite direction, this would completely change. The sun would rise in the west and set in the east, and the time of day would, therefore, have to flow from the east of the international dateline. The first big cities to celebrate the new year would be Honolulu and Anchorage, while North America would be the first continent, and New Zealand would be the last significantly populated place to get a chance to celebrate.
No massive change. Well, even though it is a massive change, it's
would change on the surface
we'll get used to that
over time than just, well, time. The seasons of Earth wouldn't change because those are determined by Earth's axial tilt and not her rotation. However, Earth's climate would gradually change over time dramatically because that is...
Is that what? Is that a flood? Am I seeing a flood?
Influenced by her rotation. As the planet rotates, the push and pull of its sheer momentum decides the direction of the ocean's currents.
I know it.
Along with atmospheric wind flows, this is what produces the range of climate patterns that we see across the Earth's surface. If you change the direction of Earth's rotation, all of this changes in some pretty wild ways. Let's talk about Europe first. One of the most important ocean currents in the world is the Gulf Stream, which carries warm ocean water from the Gulf of Mexico and Florida up to Western Europe. Combined with the jet stream winds, which carry clouds and rainwater from Canada to Northern Europe, the European...
My brain's going AWOL because I'm seeing how big the fucking sea is, right? There's definitely crazy monsters in there. Like massive, big... fucking down at the bottom ocean, 3-headed, 400-eye fucking teeth, you know what I mean? Big things.
Continent in our normal spinning world is a warmer and wetter place than it otherwise would be. If Earth's rotation reversed, this would be totally different. Based on a computer simulation that was run in 2018 at the European Geosciences Union General Assembly, Western Europe would be a much colder and snowier place that would be about 10 degrees Celsius lower on average.
It's already fucking cold and
Russia today, while the UK and Ireland would be really, really colder and would more resemble northern Alaska and Canada.
Hey, listen, we've just been getting hot. You know what, actually? Our hot is too hot now. Like, we actually die when it's too hot. So you know what? But freezing cold is horrible as well. We're never happy. We're never
These
happy.
changes would take place gradually over time, but would be quick on a geological timescale. The computer simulation produced these results after only 7,000 years into the future. But every other continent in the world would suffer from extreme climate change as well, perhaps none more so than Africa and the Middle East. With changing wind patterns and ocean currents shifting to North Africa
It's basically everything just going opposite, pretty much. Well, then again, we're getting caught.
in the Middle East, the deserts would disappear.
Huh?
The entire Sahara would vanish, replaced by a dense green forest that would stretch across the entire Middle East as
What
well.
the fuck?
North Africa and the Middle East would more resemble the climates of France and Germany today, with milder climates and a lot of rainfall. The Mediterranean
Oh my
Sea
God, that'd
would
be
almost
so
become a
weird.
freshwater lake with a tremendously increased amount of rainfall in the area. The outback desert in Australia also vanishes under these conditions, replaced with a vast interior steppe. Interestingly,
What
it
the fuck?
appears that the climates of Western and Eastern Australia will switch places,
Hey, the middle might be fucking habitable now. Habitable.
with more grasslands and rainfall in the
Can't
west
speak.
and more arid steppes in the east. Pretty much every major desert in the world today vanishes, but new deserts pop up in some unexpected areas where they haven't
UK.
ever existed before. Like, for example, North America. The
never mind.
entire southern US, from Texas to Florida to North Carolina, is transformed into a vast, hot, arid
The
desert
UK just
that
gets
resembles
cold
the
there, that's
climate
just
of
shit.
Iraq or Saudi Arabia today. The west coast, on the other hand, gets significantly colder and snowier, and more resembles the climate of the coast, on the other hand, gets significantly
I've just thought that looks like a whale with its mouth open. That actually looks like a whale with its mouth open. What the fuck?
colder and snowier, and more resembles the climate of Quebec today. South America also changes dramatically. The new largest desert in the world is located here across modern-day Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. This great South American desert effectively becomes the new world Sahara, with another vast desert in the north covering much of Colombia,
It's basically like the new upside down Africa.
Venezuela, and Guyana. South America becomes the world's most desert-covered continent, with what remains of the Amazon rainforest in between. And finally, there's Asia.
Oh, that'd be so weird.
India
Amazon
mostly
rainforest
remains
and
the
then a
same,
desert.
while China changes significantly.
Wait, how? How would South America even be like, you know, how will people be able to survive there? You have the Amazon rainforest and then you got the fucking desert. Like, there's not much left.
vast desert similar to the Gobi in Mongolia pops up across the entire southeast. Much of Southeast Asia surrounding this desert, like northern Vietnam, becomes an arid steppe. Manchuria becomes a warmer place with forests and rain, while Kamchatka in Russia weirdly transforms into a pretty mild place, with a lot less cold and snow than the rest of Russia. If the world started spinning backwards today, everything about our way of lives, from time to geography, would change dramatically. With less desert coverage overall, global temperatures will cool slightly by about 0.2 degrees Celsius.
Mad.
It's impossible to predict exactly what kind of an influence this would have on
Yeah.
history. I'll leave
Oh,
that
100%.
discussion down for the comments.
Actually,
Either
pretty
way,
interesting
it's
video, though.
fascinating to think about how a seemingly simple thing like the direction of Earth's rotation can have such an enormous impact
Oh,
on
yeah.
both history and society. The
And the
processes that govern
fact that
how
we
the
could
Earth
fall off.
operates are complicated, but anybody can learn how it all works. If you're a viewer
Really, really good video though. Very interesting. I actually love these space videos. So if you guys got any videos that you want me to react to, especially if they do with space, link them down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.